Hello and welcome back. If you are new, my name is Eliza Mozal and I help people on their spiritual journeys to raise their vibration. And right now in this video there is noise around, sun is shining, it's Friday morning, everything is good in the hood. And I wanted to talk about a little bit with you about what to do and where to start to be able to shift in the current situation when you feel like everything is falling apart. So by the end of that video, it'll be perfectly clear to you what kind of first steps to do and take towards that inner freedom, towards releasing that anxious feeling that we can have when we are facing some situations on where we are just simply fear-fed and fear-driven as it's happening right now, and we see that in news and everywhere around us. So you know, living in fear and living in survival mode for a long period of time creates many different type of diseases, and it's not good. No animal and no human being have been created to link in a long-term stress for a long period of time. We have been designed to go through these phases, to go through the survival modes, and then shake it off, let it go, and let things just come back to normal, you know, to the peaceful and harmonious way of living our lives. But for human beings is a little bit different. We as a human beings have a frontal lobe, and that frontal lobe is responsible for our thinking and processing many different types of thoughts and ideas and feelings and emotions as well, and all that stuff. For human beings is different than for animals because we can turn our survival mode just by thought alone. So I don't actually have to be in a survival situation. I don't actually have to face, let's say, a situation where I am in the middle of a car crash. I can just think about it. I can just even imagine how that would be, and I put my whole body and my whole system in a state of survival, which, based on my experience, changes me into someone who I don't want to be when I am for far too long there. In today's life, for example, let's say you're working in a call center, right? Just an example. That's not where I work, but it's just an example. You work in a cubicle. Someone next to you pisses the heck out of you. You really don't want to deal with that person. Each time you hear that person or that person maybe done something against you, you feel this anger. You feel that survival mode, you want to take care of that person, you want to, you know, resolve the situation, but you cannot. So you sit there and you boil up all these feelings and emotions, you boil up on this anger, you boil up all these unprocessed feelings and emotions that they get stuck in your body. You are constantly in survival mode, and you hear this person here and there, you see this person here and there, and it boils up in you more and more. You come back home and you keep on reliving that on the background, and that's what I call being in a survival mode all the time, especially with the stuff that we hear right now recently with coronavirus, with all that stuff. Some of us spend 24 hours constantly every day listening to that stuff, watching that stuff, processing, living by it. That's your new lifestyle, that's your new identity. You're making yourself a person who could be the victim, and you live in survival, you live in fear. That's what you choose, consciously or unconsciously. But there are people who are deciding, no, I am not gonna be fed a spoon-fed fear on every minute of my waking hour, you know, by the media, by other people, and I'm just choosing living in a different way. And I think one of the most thing that we can realize at the beginning is that living by fear and survival for a long period of time is really not good for us. And it's extremely important to realize when we are in this moment when anxiety is starting, you know, to arise in us. We feel this crushing feeling of fear growing and growing within us. The more you will be trying to run away from it, the more you will be trying to suppress it, go it away, the the worst it's going to be. And it might go away right now, but it will probably come back even stronger later on. One of the best things I would suggest to do is to realize, okay, I am here and now. These are my hands, these are my feet, this is my body. Can, without me touching my hand, can I feel my hand? And try to feel your hand from within. Try to feel your body from within. Try to be present. The reason for it is that when you are present here and now, and you are within your body, you cannot in the same time be with these thoughts, be with these things, this fearful thinking of what's gonna happen, what is it going to be, are my kids safe, do I have enough of toilet paper, and all that stuff. So the best thing you can do for yourself is to be present here and now, not to run away from that feeling and emotion because it is unprocessed, not to try to force it and shift it and turn it, but just try to be with it. The more you will be present with yourself in this situation, the more clarity in your thinking and in your being you will be able to achieve. And right now it would be really good for you to just realize that you have the breath, that you can focus on your breath and be a little bit more right now in this present, just this present second, just this present minute, be a little bit more heart driven instead of mind driven, because all that fears, what's gonna happen, they said that I have to go there, and she's done this, and he never took the rubbish out, all of that is mind and head driven. When you will tune into your body, when we will connect with your heart, when you will start focusing on your breath, things will start shifting for you. You will be able to create that kind of gap that enables you to connect with the higher self, with your higher self. It would be a moment that you will disconnect from that head, and even if it is for just 2 seconds or 5 seconds or 1 minute, because you will be building this gap up. When you're connecting with that heart-driven higher self that is based on love and truth and connection and forgiveness and peace and harmony, that the more your energy will be changing, the more you will be disconnecting from that fear. And another thing that I would like to suggest is to realize, okay, the things that my head tells me, do I really have to listen? Do I have to listen, rationalize? Do I have to argue with it, talk with it? Do I have to just realize that here and now I am safe? I never know what future will bring, whether it is coronavirus, accident, shark attack, I don't know, plane is crashing down, or just a really bad weather, whatever it is, we don't know what's gonna happen. We only know in present moment. But when we waste present moment on living by what could happen, that's when we waste that preciousness that we call life, that we waste that precious moments of being here and now in a total, and just living in that beautiful way of being here and now, being with yourself, admiring that you are alive, being grateful that you are here, being grateful for these amazing souls that you have in your life, for these amazing experiences that you can have here and now. And again, every single second is a pure choice. But when we are fear-driven, when we are constantly on a run, when we constantly, scattered by our thoughts, and we listen to that all the time, it's really hard to find any peace. It's really hard to find any happiness. And remember as well that happiness is conditional. This and this and this have to be in place for you to be happy. And every one of us have that, setup, that perfect setup is in a little bit different way. But the peace of mind, peace, the beautiful, peace that is beyond regular understanding, can be found in any situation, whether you would label it good or bad. What as well I would like to suggest, if you are feeling this, fearful moments, fearful emotions, anxiety, depression, when you're really worried about your life, when you're so fed by that media fear-driven machine, it's time for you to realize, okay, what can I feed myself that it's going to be a really good foundation for my peace and love and harmony to arise out of myself, because this is nothing that you can get from outside in. It is already within you, but because you're connected constantly to that head and that this constant, you know, bombarding of thoughts, you are unable even to recognize your own fabulousness and preciousness. So what I would strongly suggest is to start meditating, but like seriously start meditating. Don't mess around, do just 5 minutes and just to tick it off from the list, but put your whole heart and soul into mastering the skill of paying attention. That's what meditation is becoming familiar with who you are, what kind of computer program you are running on right now. And the more you are able to observe something, the less you are under control of that computer program. And if you would put your heart and soul into that and just decide, okay, this week I'm meditating 15 minutes morning, 15 minutes at nighttime, and next week I'm doing 20 minutes, and the week after I'm doing 30 minutes, and the week after I'm doing an hour, blah blah blah, end of story. Whether my body is rebelling against it or not, because it happens to all of us. You have to realize that you are a child of nature, and when you take yourself outside of nature and you put yourself in a box that it's separated from sunlight, from grass, from trees, from happiness, from beauty, when all you watch is the crime, jealousy, sex, and all that fear-driven stuff, you cannot be okay for a longer period of time. You cannot. You need to be exposed to the sunlight. You need to put your bare feet on the ground. You need to touch the trees and grass. You need to eat healthy plant-based foods. You need to be surrounded by people who appreciate love and kindness and openness. You have to do that stuff for yourself, because that's how you were created. You are wired for love. You are wired for peace. You are wired for nature. And if you're separating yourself from it, well, no wonder that things are gonna start being totally messed up in every possible way. I think that's very clear for so many of us, but it's good to be reminded. So I'm just sharing whatever needs to go through me. And I felt about half an hour ago a really strong buildup of this energy going through me, and I know that the best way I can use that energy right now is just to turn the camera on and pass it on, whatever needs to be passed on. If you've got any value whatsoever from that message, you know exactly what to do. Press the like, share, leave a comment, subscribe for more if this is what you would like to see. I would as well like to hear, how are you feeling? How are you going through that process of whatever is going on right now in these days, whatever it is in your life or outside of you, inside of you or outside. Please share with me in the comment section. I will be more than happy to support you and maybe help out in any way that will be possible. I'm gonna wish you all the best. Stay awesome. Keep on exploring, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye bye.